I got hit by a car. We were playing what you call hump the head, where people chase each other. Young boys play the game of hump the head. You could punch somebody all over their body below the neck. You could hit them in the face. So when they caught you, they beat you on the arm, beat you in the leg, and beat you in the chest. Form two groups, all neighborhood brothers, right? So you have to run fast and try to be elusive and stuff. So we chasing around the neighborhood, and we caught up with somebody. We would beat on them, not to hurt them, but just let them know that they got bruised up pretty bad. And that was something we did as, I guess, rite of passage for young black males in New Orleans at that time.
If you stayed out a little later, the best you could do is play kick the can, which went around the block. Hey, it was fun. We didn't have anything to play with. We didn't have any money. But then again, we didn't know we were poor because we enjoyed our life. So you play kick the can, and here, black, white, Italians, all of them, they kicked the can all around the corner until the street lights came on and everybody knew you had to go inside.
Well, we were fortunate. We had a dryer when I was a kid. And the dryer was the shed, the back shed, and on top of the shed my grandfather made a place for clotheslines. And you could crawl over the top and go in the gable and you could sit down and rest and look at the sky and eat mescalese off the tree.
What are those?
That didn't belong to us, Japanese plum.
And if you came back a little late, you can bet your life the neighbor across the street the curtain would move to make sure your mother and father knew. Did you know what time she came in?
We couldn't have been no more than about maybe 5 years old. And the corner grocery store, which was around the corner, I think my dad maybe just started letting me go to the store. And it was one of the things where I had like a whole 50 cents in my pocket. And my younger brother, who was like a whopping 1 year younger than me, I asked my dad, can I go to the store? And he told me no. So being the brilliant son that I was, I told my little brother that Daddy said I couldn't go to the store, but you could go to the store. So I give my brother the money, and being a 4-year-old, he was gullible, okay, as most 4-year-olds are. So he starts to go across the street. But then I chickened out, and I'm like, wait a moment, Tony, come back. So as he's getting ready to come across, of course, he runs out in the middle of traffic, okay? He runs out in the middle of traffic. That's probably my brother sending that book. I'm telling you, he know I'm talking about him right now, I'm telling you. But he runs out into the middle of traffic, and of course the car is coming, locks up the brake. Well, back then, remember, it's a different time. So you was raised by the neighborhood. My next door neighbor, and my brother will remember her name, I don't, because he gonna remember, she was the first one to get to him, all right? And she started whooping his little behind all the way for scaring her into the house, okay? Then told my daddy what happened. So once we got inside, my brother got another whooping. Okay, I only got one whooping though, okay? I only got one whooping. But my brother got 2 whoopings, all right, because from the next door neighbor and my daddy. So I think I made out good with that one. I think it was the worst whooping of my life. And, for a 5-year-old, it was probably like, just the biggest thing in the world. Yeah, my world was broke down. But I'm still in therapy behind that one, though. And my therapist says I'm making good progress now.
When I was a little boy and I tried to drink in front of the Charity Hospital out of fountain said colored. And I said, well, why should I drink out the colored fountain? Because the white fountain must be better, because theirs looked all polished. And the policeman said, now you know I'm gonna run you down for that, but you're wrong for that, drinking out of our fountain. So that was back there in the 30s.
How old were you?
I was about 5, 6, I didn't know any better. And me and my brother, and they traced us down, but he never could catch us.
house had like a chimney in each room and a fireplace. And the guy used to come around, stone cold lady, and he would sell you like a small hamper for maybe 15 cents, something like that. And then he would sell you a real hamper for 25 cents. But you burn that in your fireplace, you know. And I used to like to play with it because sometimes the coal would get like natural gas or some kind of gas, methane gas or something. But when the coal would get real hot, when the fizzle would open up and out there like that, you know. So I had, my grandma had kindling wood right there to start the fire. I'd reach and get one of them sticks and start playing with it. Then first thing I know, somebody wheeling on. Get out of that fire. You're gonna set this house on fire.
I came up in Cali, I jumped over a couple of fences, we was gone. See my mama? Them white folks ain't gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill you. They ain't gonna kill you. I will kill you. And I'll tell anybody. I wasn't afraid of no police, but I wasn't. I didn't trust my mama. You know, cause she was a beautiful woman, but you know, she didn't believe in nobody doing nothing for her. You know, and she instilled so many things in me until I'm like her.
You say, I wanna be here, but I can't. Take care of your mom in there. And when I come in off the ship, you can let me know what's going on. Well, I had to let him know, because my mama let him know. If I was out of order, my uncles and them had already chastised me before he got home. And I know once he got the message that my behavior might have been out of order, there was another chastisement. So we were a close-knit community.
He had Mr. Wells would send me up to the Roosevelt to either pick up the money or get Mr. Lewis dues book to pay his dues. And I used to go through the alley, go up there. I said, come to see Lewis doing this. Okay, catch the elevator, go to the third floor. I get up there, he had this cook hat on. This was the 40s, y'all. And he had a cook hat on and all that. How you doing, Papa? I said, all right, Mr. Lewis. He said, here, take this and bring this to Luella. But getting back to Mr. Furtel. Mr. Furtel used to sit right there because Miss Luella would get up and go to the racetrack. You know, she wouldn't finish the dress. So if Miss Furtel stayed there, then she would have to keep sewing, you see. So Miss Luella would run out of thread, she'd run out of bobbins, she'd run out of needles. She said, I'll be in the backyard, in the summertime now, I'll be in my backyard playing. Papa, come here, that's what they call it. Go clean yourself up, you see. Put your shoes and stuff on. I said, what's my, I want you to go to Kraus for me. So I'd run over there to Kraus, and on the third floor, Kraus had that big notion. I mean, on the third floor, Kraus had all kinds of material, everything. Kraus was like, I don't know what. But when I get up there, the lady knew me. She said, come, what do I send you for now? So I put out my little piece of goods or whatever, you know, a note, and she give it to me. I'd run back and we'll finish the dress up. But they were sitting there listening to soap operas on the radio, because there was no TV. They were listening at Young Dr. Malone. That was a soap opera. Stella Dallas. That was another one. I think it was Hattie McDaniel playing Beulah or Butterfly McQueen, one of them. And she would come to the door, Beulah! So when I get back, Miss Luella would give me a Coke. She said, go look in the refrigerator. Because they had a refrigerator there, but she had no icebox. Miss Luella had a refrigerator. I guess it was the first one that Frigidaire that first came out. She said, go look in the refrigerator and get you a Coke. And she had cases of Coke, cases. So I thought they would enrich me. No cases and stuff. But Mr. Lewis made good money. You know, Miss Luella made that money too.
Oh, of course we didn't have electric refrigerators when I was growing up. So you had the Iceman. So the Iceman was also another neighbor. I don't know where he got his ice, but he'd come over selling ice, and he'd have maybe 2 young men on a truck with him. I had fun with the Iceman because I was young, and of course I had my chores. And whenever they'd come in, they'd say, we're not coming in your house. because if you drop water on the floor, I made them mop it. My mother didn't know that. She said they couldn't help but drop the water, but I said if I clean the kitchen, then you mop the floor if you drop the water. So, but we got our ice.
My mama was a clean freak too. But when she used to work, my brother and I had different chores to do. Like we had an ice box, we didn't have a refrigerator. And they didn't drill a hole in the floor so the water could run under the house. But they did, they had a pan in there. It was my job, by me being the oldest, I had to take that pan out every day because the ice would drip in it. And if I forgot and it run on the floor, I can't tell you what happened after that. But, but I had to pull it out every day. We had kerosene stoves, beautiful stoves, but they had a tank on it that burned kerosene. And you put the tank on the end and you light it up, it would be just like a gas stove. It would be blue flame and everything, but it was kerosene. It was my job to go get the kerosene. She would leave so much money. The grocery store was on the corner of Laola and Padita. Go get the, and I used to like to draw it because they had a big tank there. You know, kids like to play with stuff, you know, boys especially. So I said, Mr. Tootie, that was his name. His real name was Jasper. We called him Mr. Tootie. He was a gopher. He said, I said, let me draw the kerosene. He said, you're not gonna break that jug? I said, no. I put the jug up there, boy. In fact, they had like they used to have a lot of outhouses, but they wasn't like in the country. They flushed. So my aunt and them used that same outhouse. Miss Pauline, my aunt and them used it. And my aunt was a clean freak, just like Miss Pauline. And they had wooden seats. They had scrubbed that outhouse so much that the seat was blind. All the lacquer was off the seat. But we had one, but it flushed. It had a tank and it flushed. We had one too in the backyard of our house. It flushed. And every Saturday, me and my brother had to get my mama make us boil some water because we didn't have hot water, running water. We didn't have no hot and running water here. We had to boil the water and stuff. We took a bath every night because we had to boil the water. You wasn't getting my mama bath without taking a bath. In a big tin tub, large tin tub. And every Saturday, my brother and I had to get back there and boil the water. And we had some stuff they call lye. We would put in that hot water. And we would go back there and throw it up in that outhouse. And then sweep it out. But that seat had turned white too, with all that lye and stuff. We didn't have hot and cold water inside. We didn't even have running water inside. We had to go outside to the sink. But we had like, in the sink, they had like a little strainer, which was brass. And we had to clean that with Dutch cleanser. You know, have you ever seen, if you go to grocery, you're gonna see an old lady with a mop on a cleanser called Dutch cleanser? Well, it was a paste. My mom would get the rags, we had rags, but my brother had to clean that thing out and scrub that, and that thing looked like gold.